So the truth is about these guys, I have two strong opinions. I think Dylan Gabriel's size is an issue. I would have a hard time building around him. He's small. But I think Shadur was underdrafted. Shadur is bigger. I think he moves well. I would choose Shadur over Dylan Gabriel.
Shadur outplayed Dylan Gabriel in both practice and in the preseason in their starts. No matter if it's a half each player played, you can't have it both ways. You can't say Dylan played as well, if not better, than Shadur.
The quarterback debate in Cleveland has taken a dramatic twist, and it's not just fans talking anymore. Major analysts are stepping in, and this time, it's Colin Cowherd dropping a bombshell. After watching Dylan Gabriel's debut, Cowherd didn't sugarcoat a single thing. He said point blank, if this is the offense moving forward, the Browns are in trouble. And he wasn't just talking about the interceptions or the poor execution. He went deeper. He questioned Gabriel's size, his presence in the pocket, and whether his physical limitations could eventually hold the Browns back. Then Cowherd turned the entire conversation when he brought up Shadur Sanders. He said after watching both quarterbacks side by side, there's no question who he'd choose. He'd go with Shadur. Not only that, he went on record saying Sanders was underdrafted, meaning the league completely slept on him. That's a big statement from someone like Colin, especially given the current crop of young quarterbacks in the NFL. Cowherd even admitted that he personally prefers Shadur Sanders as a pure talent, but he also pointed out why Kevin Stefanski might have leaned toward Dylan Gabriel. According to Cowherd, NFL general managers often want quarterbacks who are great but boring, players who won't attract too much attention off the field, who won't come in with a spotlight and expectations bigger than the offensive scheme. And to Cowherd, even though Shadur brings excitement, he also brings pressure, media pressure, fan pressure, and scrutiny that comes with his name and brand. That's why in Cowherd's eyes, the Browns originally chose Gabriel. They thought he'd be stable, quiet, and manageable. But as Cowherd put it, things have changed, especially now that Browns GM Andrew Berry himself has publicly praised Shadur. After watching Sanders put on what he called a masterclass performance, Berry couldn't hide his excitement. He wasn't talking like a cautious executive. He sounded like a proud mentor, saying he was proud of how Shadur carried himself and executed on the field. That changes everything. When the GM is publicly hyping a rookie like that, the narrative shifts quickly. Suddenly, Sanders isn't just a backup. He's a potential franchise leader. And just like that, the entire quarterback equation in Cleveland looks different.
Really, really good. Proud of you.
Cool.
Really, really nice job.
You're not fully proud, kinda.
I'm
kinda proud.
Look, for your first time, it was a perfect no, but you made plays, you operated, like, so it's just stacked.
I love when you tell the facts, do you? No, but it's okay, it's okay.
Listen, you did a nice job, okay? So just take what you learned from tonight, apply it to the joint practices, and then the next one.
Not long after Cowherd spoke his mind, Stephen A. Smith jumped right into the mix, and as usual, he didn't hold back. Stephen A. made it crystal clear, Shadur Sanders is the better quarterback, especially where it matters most, in real game situations, under real pressure. Smith said Shadur has shown he can handle more chaos, more expectation, and still deliver. He highlighted how Sanders, from the moment he stepped on the field, carried the weight of media narratives, comparisons, doubts, and still executed like a veteran. Stephen A. acknowledged that Dylan Gabriel had moments of brilliance in college and even flashed a bit in the preseason. But when it comes down to the big picture, how you respond under fire, Shadur wins that comparison. Smith pointed out that Gabriel made decent throws, but also made costly mistakes, and that inconsistency is something you can't hide in the NFL. Meanwhile, Sanders, even in limited time, looked composed, sharp, and decisive. Smith's argument was deeper than just stats. He said Shadur is built for this moment, that unlike most rookies, Sanders seems to welcome the pressure. He thrives off it, and if you're building a team that's trying to climb out of years of quarterback turmoil, Smith believes you go with the guy who shines brightest when the lights are hot. To him, that's Shadur, no question.
I liked it, but that's not to throw any shade on Dylan Gabriel. He came out there, had a couple of mishaps, what have you, but ultimately he played well, and I give him credit where credit is due. But watching Shadur move the offense or whatever, I thought that his performance was slightly better than Dylan Gabriel.
But Stephen A. didn't stop there. He went after Dylan Gabriel's comments about Shadur, and he called them what they were, a huge mistake. Smith said it was a foolish move for Gabriel to take any type of shot, even indirectly, at another quarterback before he's even proven himself at this level. In his words, "Why are you talking about Shadur when you still need to prove you belong?" Smith emphasized something important. A young QB's job isn't to stir up controversy. It's to lead, to improve, and to stay locked in. Instead, Gabriel opened the door to drama. That's the kind of thing that divides locker rooms and becomes a distraction. Stephen A. said straight up, that was a dumb comment to make, and he reminded everyone that those types of comments can haunt you, especially if the player you're talking about ends up outperforming you, which right now Shadur is doing. He made it clear that Gabriel essentially threw Shadur under the bus publicly, and whether he meant to or not, the damage is done. He brought unnecessary noise into the Browns locker room, and that's something coaches absolutely hate. Stephen A. said if Gabriel wanted to show he was the better quarterback, he should have done it with his performance, not with a quote that caused more backlash than positive headlines.
Others will be merciless, but in the end, no one will be wrong because who instigated that fury against you? It would be you. Very, very idiotic and stupid for you to say what you said.
Stephen A. Smith also made a great comparison that everyone is now paying attention to. He said, look at how Shadur handles the media versus how Gabriel handles it. If Shadur had made those same comments about Gabriel, the backlash would have been 10 times worse. Social media would explode. People would call him cocky, disrespectful, arrogant, and yet Gabriel gets to call Sanders an entertainer and somehow still play innocent afterward, and most of the backlash still hasn't even fully caught up to him yet. Stephen A. called it exactly how it is. There's a double standard. Shadur plays under more pressure, more cameras, more criticism, and still remains composed. Gabriel plays under far less spotlight and still managed to create controversy out of thin air. That alone shows who's better at managing the responsibilities that come with being a QB in this league. Smith concluded that whatever positive moments Gabriel showed on the field, they were overshadowed by his own words and immaturity.
How much would he have been excoriated for talking about the media that way? And so because of that, now you're going to look at people and they're going to say, okay, well, it wasn't him. He's the dude that went out there and played very, very well in his preseason debut. This guy, Dylan Gabriel, he still had good moments in third down, 6 for 6, completing his passes was impressive, had composure in the pocket, etc., etc. There was a lot of good things to say about Dylan Gabriel. But he threw shade on his own performance by showing he was paying attention
to
stuff.
And now we reach the heart of this debate. Who should the Browns roll with? The quarterback conversation has officially reached new levels. From day one, fans were already split. Some liked Gabriel's calm demeanor, his controlled pocket presence. Others were electrified by Shadur's swagger, his ability to step up in crucial moments. But once national voices like Colin Cowherd and Stephen A. Smith joined the conversation, everything intensified. Cowherd's message was that Gabriel may provide stability, but Shadur offers that rare mix of talent and mental toughness. Stephen A. flat out said Sanders is superior under real NFL pressure. They both agreed on one thing: Gabriel brought problems onto himself with his comments. And now even Browns GM Andrew Berry is praising Sanders publicly, which may be the biggest sign yet that this competition is shifting. At this point, even Gabriel's highlight plays can't erase the controversy. His remarks about Sanders have overshadowed the football. Meanwhile, Shadur continues to rise, letting his play speak for itself and handling the spotlight the way a true leader does. This debate may still be ongoing, but one thing is clear: both quarterbacks are talented, but only one is handling every part of the job, on and off the field, like a future franchise star. So here's the big question to everyone watching. Who do you think deserves that spot? Is Gabriel's calm, steady approach worth more than Sanders' fire and playmaking ability? Do you agree with Colin Cowherd's idea that the Browns need stable and quiet? Or do you side with Stephen A. and believe that pressure makes diamonds, and Shadur is that diamond? And how much do off-field comments actually matter when you're trying to lead a team? Let us know in the comments below, because this debate is only just beginning, and the spotlight is only getting hotter from here.